Hey, Paul. I'm sorry, but I'm really not up to cooking anything for dinner this evening. I know you've been busy at work all day, but would you mind picking yourself up something from the store on the way back?
Don't sweat it. I'll cook for us tonight.
Wow. Are you sure?
Yeah, it's no big deal. Besides, we've practically been living off nothing but takeout lately. We should really start thinking about stuff like vitamins and nutrients, now that you're eating for two.
I'm sorry, honey. I've been so tired lately you wouldn't believe. My body's so heavy these days that even getting from the sofa to the kitchen is an accomplishment, and I've been suffering with awful morning sickness on top of it.
I know it must be tough for you, babe, but before long, it'll all be worth it. Not long now, huh? In less than 2 months, we're gonna be parents. Hey, I tell you what, when we get done eating, I'll give you one of my famous foot massages.
Thanks. Your massages are the best. I can't wait. I know you must be crazy tired from all the hours you've been working lately. Sorry to trouble you.
It's nothing, really. What's this world coming to if you can't give the mother of your child a foot massage after work? Besides, your burden is a lot heavier than mine. As a guy, this kind of thing is about all I can do, so I'll be damned if I'm not going to do everything I can. You've been growing a brand new human in your belly for the last 7 months. Can't even begin to imagine what that must be like.
You're the best husband in the world. I feel so lucky to have you. You're the kindest, most understanding person I've ever met.
You really think so?
Of course I do. On top of the crazy hours you're putting in at the office to make sure me and our baby have everything we need, you help out with the housework. And you even cook sometimes. You go the extra mile for me, honey. I hope you know how much I appreciate it. Not all couples are like this, you know. My friend told me her and her husband were bickering and fighting practically every 5 minutes while she was pregnant with their son. Apparently, he never helped her with anything.
Well, my company doesn't ask us to do overtime unless there's some kind of emergency, so I have it pretty easy compared to a lot of people. If I was in a busier industry, or worked at a company with a more questionable take on ethics, there's no guarantee I'd be able to help out as much as I do. In truth, I feel lucky.
Huh? But you help me out around the house even when you're busy.
I suppose I do what I can. My sister was always asking me for favors back when she was pregnant. I guess you could say I'm used to it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I remember. You were always rushing out to drive her from A to B or pick up groceries. You were her lifeline back then, with her husband not always being around.
I've never thought of it that way, but I guess I might have been handy to have on standby. The timing on her husband's business trips were nothing short of a disaster. I know he couldn't help it, but it really made things difficult for her. My mom and dad were so tied up with work back in our hometown that they weren't much help either.
No kidding. Your parents are workhorses in every sense of the word. I've never known anyone to work so hard at their age. I can't help but wonder if that's why your mom hates me.
Whoa, where did that come from? My mom hates you? What makes you think that?
Yeah. She's always so cold and blunt with me.
Huh? Really? But didn't you say you thought she was really kind before?
She was, until I got pregnant. Ever since I quit my job so I could come home to be with you and get ready for the birth, I can't help but feel she's been off with me. Sure, it's not like we live together or anything, and I hardly ever see her, but I feel... I don't know. I guess you could call it hostility? From the tone of her message and phone calls.
Wow, I had no idea. I really don't think my mom's the type of person to hate someone just because they're not working, especially when you have a perfectly legitimate reason. You're heavily pregnant, for crying out loud. Besides, don't all soon-to-be moms stop working when they're as ready to burst as you are?
Sure they do, but don't you think she might be angry because I quit my job outright instead of going on maternity leave? I feel like she's being cold towards me because I left the company.
How so? Any examples?
Well, for starts, she used to send me tons of presents. Your mom's always going away on business, right? Well, she'd send me gifts and souvenirs from wherever it was she happened to be, but lately she hasn't sent anything.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. Surely that just means she hasn't been on any business trips lately?
That's not all. She was really cold towards me when I told her the baby's due date. And she hasn't been to see me once. And I guess, why would she? It's not like I'm her real daughter. It won't be her first grandchild either, so she probably doesn't care.
She was asking all kinds of questions about how you were. Last time we spoke on the phone, she actually seemed really interested in you.
Really?
Yeah, really. I think you're overthinking this.
I hope so.
I know you can't help how you feel though, sweetie. So don't sweat it. If that's the impression you got, then that's the impression you got. I honestly don't think there's anything to worry about though. I hope you'll always let me know whenever something's bothering you. I tell you what, I'll ask my mom a few roundabout questions. Hopefully that will help put your mind at rest. Asking her directly might upset her and make things awkward between you, so I'll have to be discreet. But leave it with me.
Thanks, Paul. I appreciate that. I'll just put it down to me overthinking for the time being. Anyway, see you soon. Drive safe. Paul, are you there? Are you still at work? What's going on? You're normally home 2 hours ago. Why haven't you messaged me?
Sorry, I'm on my way home now.
Were you at work? Where have you been?
Listen, Catherine,
What the hell is going on?
there were some problems at the office.
There were? Ugh, I've been going out of my mind with worry here, Paul. Why didn't you tell me? You're normally home way earlier than this. I felt like you'd vanished off the face of the earth when you didn't message me.
I'm really sorry, babe. That was wrong of me. I was rushing around like such a lunatic trying to get on top of the situation at work that I totally lost track of time.
Is everything okay? When you say you're coming home now, does that mean it's all been dealt with?
No, not quite. I've reached my limit for today, though. I'm on my way home regardless.
I see. It's not like you do overtime. I think this might be the first time since we started dating.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Anyway, enough of that. I'm sure you just want to forget about it all for today, right, sweetie? More importantly, supper! I know you're probably tired, so I understand if you just want to make something simple. Do you have anything in mind?
Actually, I think I'm just gonna pick something up on the way home today. Tired doesn't even begin to cover my mental state after the day I've had. It's late, too. It'll be time for bed by the time I finish preparing and cooking everything, even if it is something simple.
Oh my god, seriously? But I was so looking forward to eating one of your home-cooked meals.
Please, can you just cut me some slack today?
Fine. I'll settle for a ready meal then. But I want a cup of soup too. Make sure you get the freeze-dried type.
Alright, got it.
Oh yeah, guess what? I sent your mom a picture of the ultrasound today, but you'll never believe it. She left me on red. I got totally blanked. Don't you think that's horrible?
I see.
I see? Is that all you've got to say? Ugh, a little more understanding would be nice. You know before how I said I was gonna chalk what I thought about your mom being cold towards me down to overthinking? Well, I take it back. Who leaves a picture of their daughter-in-law's baby scan on red? That confirms it. I was right. She hates me.
Alright, leave it with me. I'll prod around with a few indirectly worded questions. But let's not jump to conclusions before we know for sure, okay? You know how busy she is. Maybe she just forgot to reply.
I really don't think she did. She was never like this before. I hope you're gonna have my back if it turns out she does hate me. Can I count on you, Paul? Are you gonna be there when I need you?
Well,
Because the thing is, I have no interest in having any kind of relationship with someone who hates me. How about you pick a damn side and stop fence-sitting for once?
I'm not sitting on the fence, Catherine. I just don't want to go doing anything brash without knowing the full story. But rest assured, I won't force you to carry on seeing her if it turns out what you're saying is true.
Good. Anyway, I'm hungry. Hurry up and get home with my supper.
By the way, I saw David, your old coworker, earlier,
Where?
on the way to a meeting with a client.
Really? I haven't spoken to him since I left the company. How was he? Is he doing well?
I only saw him from a distance. It reminded me of what good friends we all used to be. Remember how we used to go out with him and his wife on days out or to restaurants together? Stuff like that? We don't see each other at all these days.
It's true, we don't, but remember, they have a son to think about now. It's hard to find time for things like that when you have kids.
Sure, I get that. But it'd be nice to see them again, you know? For old time's sake. How about we all get together again after the baby's born? You were saying you wanted some other mom friends just the other day, right? I think David's wife, Christine, would be perfect. I mean, you're already friends, right? It'd just be a case of picking up where you left off.
Listen, baby, the truth is, me and Christine aren't friends. I actually found her really difficult to get along with.
Huh? Really?
Yeah. Surely you know her personality's a little gloomy, right? It's like walking on eggshells being around someone like that.
I honestly never noticed.
'Cause you're a dullard. It's fine. I'm sure I'll find some new mom friends if I keep looking. I'm not so desperate for company that I tolerate people I don't like.
Yeah, fair point. Anyway, I'll be home after I pick up something to eat from the store.
Paul, are you serious? I'm so mad at you. What are you playing at? Ugh! You are gonna come see me at the hospital today, aren't you? Your son wants to meet you.
I'm sorry. I can't.
What did you just say? Are you being serious right now?
Yes.
You mean you can't make it because of work today? Again?
Yep.
Ugh, this cannot be happening. You've only been to see us at the hospital once since I gave birth. What do you think you're playing at? I don't want to hear any crap about overtime either, because I know your company doesn't make you do any. Who does this as soon as their kid is born? You do know me and your son are coming home tomorrow, don't you?
I don't have a son. I want a divorce. Whether you come home or not makes no difference to me.
Oh my god, Paul, what are you talking about? Where's all this coming from? Stop joking around. I'm not laughing. Just stop it!
I'm not joking. I'm as serious as it gets.
Why are you being like this? Do you have any idea what a toll being pregnant all the time took on me? The birth wasn't exactly a walk in the park either.
Yep.
Yup? What the freaking hell is yup? I don't want to hear yep, you goddamn jerkwad. Don't you care about your son?
I believe that all children are precious. But I find it difficult to care about your son for personal reasons.
My son? He's your son too, Paul. Oh, you make me sick. I never thought you were like this. I would have never gotten pregnant if I knew you were gonna divorce me. Take responsibility.
Nope.
Do not screw around, you lowlife prick. He doesn't even have a name yet. What am I supposed to put on the birth certificate?
You should probably hold off on that. And whatever you do not write my name on it.
I was wrong about you. If I knew you were gonna toss me aside like a piece of garbage the moment things got tough, I would have never let you get me pregnant. I would have never married you. I'm phoning your parents. Mark my words, you will take responsibility for what you've done. Paul, I got discharged from the hospital today. I just got home. What's going on? Where are our things? The house is almost empty.
Yep, I took all my stuff. Your things are in cardboard boxes in the bedroom. You can deal with sending them off to wherever you go from here by yourself. I'm selling the house.
Wow. I can't believe it. So you were serious about the divorce?
Yep. I left the divorce papers on the shelf by the front door. I need you to sign them and post them in the envelope I left.
You mean you can't even bring yourself to see my face? Is that why you left before I got home?
Bingo. If we need to discuss anything, we can do it through our lawyers.
What about our son? How am I supposed to raise him in a house with nothing in it?
It's not my problem what you do with the kid. But like I said, I'm selling the house, so you definitely won't be raising him there. How about you take him to David's place?
Huh?
Your old coworker, David. You know, his real dad.
What are you talking about? He's your son.
Can you prove it?
Prove it? Why do you need proof? Surely you know he's yours. I'm your wife, for Pete's sake.
But that kid's the product of an affair. Of course, it's not his fault his parents are cheating lowlives. But I have neither any right nor obligation to raise him.
Oh my god. How can you say these things? You're horrible.
The only one who's horrible here is you. You lied about him being mine while knowing damn well he wasn't. You filled me with false hope, an attempt to get me to raise someone else's kid.
What makes you think he's David's? Because we got along before the pregnancy? Oh, please. Just because I have male friends doesn't mean I'm seeing them behind your back.
My mom said she saw you together after we found out you were pregnant.
Huh?
It was just after you left the company to come back to live at home with me. You were away for 3 days straight, remember? Because you didn't come home straight away. You stopped off in Philly on the way, didn't you?
Philly? What? No way! I've never been there. Are you sure this isn't a case of mistaken identity?
Granted, she saw you from pretty far away, but she took plenty of pictures. She was over there on a business trip at the time. When she realized what she was seeing, her and a coworker followed you into a cafe to see if they couldn't eavesdrop on your conversation.
No way!
Yes way. She had her coworker who you don't know sit on the next table across. She overheard everything. How did it go again? Oh yeah, David, this baby. There's a good chance it's not Paul's. I think you're the father.
What? No! She must have misheard us!
Even still, why would you be in Philly with David in the first place?
Well, we just bumped into each other by chance.
In Philly? Since when do you go there? I could at least respect you a little if you were just honest about what you did. This is why my mom's been off with you ever since. Because she knew you were cheating on me, and that the baby might not be mine. Obviously, she couldn't know for sure without digging deeper. You said it yourself. There was still a chance it might be mine. But at the same time, she knew how hurt I'd be if she told me what she saw. She said she was chronically worried and losing sleep because she didn't know whether to tell me.
But that's why you decided to divorce me, right? Because of what your mom told you? In the end, she did hurt you, and she did it all for nothing because this little boy is yours, I swear!
The only one who hurt me is you, even if there was still a chance he was mine. That doesn't take away the fact that you cheated on me.
But I didn't! Where's the proof? Surely you're not making accusations like this based purely on something your mom told you she thinks she saw? Are you really gonna point the finger of doubt on your own wife based on hearsay? Without a shred of evidence. That's horrible.
If it's proof you want, I have it. Have you heard the term DNA test before? Remember that time I came to visit you at the hospital after the birth? Well, I was actually there for a DNA test.
Wait, what?
The results came in yesterday. It's just like I thought. He's not mine.
No way! Oh, this can't be happening. This is all a sick joke, right?
I wish it was, Catherine. I wish it was. This proves, beyond any shadow of a doubt, you cheated on me. I can't believe I had to find out like this.
I'm so sorry.
Does that mean you admit it?
No, please hear me out. Look, this is how it happened. Dave invited me over to his house. He said his wife couldn't drink because she was pregnant, but he really wanted to have a drink with someone, so he offered me some wine. It was really strong. I don't know if maybe he put something in it, because I don't remember anything after that.
Let me get this straight. You're saying you think he spiked your drink and raped you?
Yes.
That's strange, because I'm with David right now, and he says you're lying.
What?
I drove over to see him because I wanted to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. He admitted it the moment I showed him the DNA results.
No, he's lying! You can't trust a word he says. He's a pathological liar.
He showed me your message history. It wasn't just a one-off, was it? There were no mentions of any drinks being spiked or anyone passing out and not remembering anything. In fact, it seems to me like you were always really excited to go and see him.
Paul, please. My head was all over the place back then after what he did to me. I wasn't thinking straight. You're the only one I love, and that's the truth. Please believe me, I never wanted to divorce you.
Of course you didn't. What would it accomplish? He was a married man, after all. But whether you wanted a divorce or not, you still cheated on me. And without a condom, no less, you dirty girl.
I'm so sorry, baby.
Don't baby me, you lying whore. You tried to trick me into raising another man's kid. You're the most despicable person I've ever had the displeasure of knowing.
Whether this baby boy turned out to be yours or not, I've always thought of you as his. I've been filled with nothing but regret this whole time. I swore never to betray you again when I found out I was pregnant. I was committed to raising him together as our son. Do you have any idea how hard this pregnancy was on me?
Not my problem. You only have yourself to blame.
I believed with all my heart that you'd be man enough to step up to the plate and raise this baby boy, even if you weren't blood related.
Man enough to raise someone else's kid? Now I've heard it all! Look, I'll admit that if I'd spent long enough raising him without knowing the truth, I probably would have gotten attached and found it difficult to let go.
Right? So why do things have to be different now? You can still raise and love him as your own.
But I do know the truth now, don't I? I know exactly what you did.
This is all your mom's fault. If your mom didn't go sticking her nose where it didn't belong, this poor boy would have grown up with both parents in his life, surrounded by love and warmth.
Have you heard yourself? What are you even saying? Don't blame the mess you made on my mom. She was only trying to look out for me. You and David are the only ones at fault here.
Paul, please, I'm so sorry. Please give me another chance. I swear I'll never betray you again. I'll dedicate every fiber of my being to making you and this baby boy happy for as long as I live.
Nah. Me and you are done. And I sure as hell ain't raising some other dude's kid.
Please don't divorce me, baby. I can't bear to lose you. You're all I have.
You really meant that. You would have never cheated on me in the first place. No matter how desperately you beg and plead, there isn't anything you could possibly say at this point that would change things.
Oh my god! I can't raise a baby boy on my own! What am I supposed to do without you?
I just got off the phone with your mom. Her and your dad are going to come and pick you up from the house soon. So presumably you'll be staying with them for a while. You and David can take care of the rest between yourselves and his family.
But I want to raise this boy with you!
Believe me, I wanted to as well. I wanted it more than anything. Till I found out, that is. I felt like my heart stopped when I got that phone call from my mom a month ago. My world was flipped and turned upside down in an instant. I wanted to believe in you. That's why I went for a DNA test. I was willing to pretend I didn't know about the affair for the sake of the kid if it turned out to be mine. But he isn't.
I'm so sorry.
Not only is he not my kid, but now I know that my own wife is a treacherous lowlife who cheated on me. You can't chalk this down to getting drunk and being taken advantage of or making a mistake, because you went back to him time and time again. How do you think I felt when I found out? You have no idea, do you? Do you even care? I find it hard to believe you'd be capable of something so cruel and heartless if you did.
I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I'm begging you. I'll do anything.
There's nothing I want from you. Forget about me and focus on making your son happy from now on. There's nothing I can do for him because I'm not his dad. It's time for you to take responsibility for what you did. After that, with the assistance of my lawyer, I divorced Catherine without a hitch. Naturally, her lover, David's name was the one that ended up on the father field in the birth certificate. Catherine, suddenly having nowhere to live, went to stay with her parents, who, in spite of being disgusted by their daughter's actions, couldn't bring themselves to abandon her and their grandson. Apparently, they were beside themselves with anger and disappointment towards Catherine, but they understood that the baby was an innocent victim in all of this, and wanted to make sure he wasn't punished for the sins of the mother. Babies, especially newborns, need to be raised in a warm, loving environment with people who can be relied on to provide constant care and attention they need. As such, my ex-in-laws vowed to do everything they could to provide for him, which, in spite of me having no relation to the kid, put my mind strangely at ease. As for David, my ex-wife's lover, his wife Christine divorced him immediately when she found out about his extracurricular activities. Apparently her parents are pretty well off, which meant neither them nor Christine were financially dependent on David, and as such, they could afford to remove him from their lives completely, which they promptly did. Who was a top executive at the company. Needless to say, he didn't take too kindly to the betrayal of his daughter, and David quickly found himself unemployed. I hear he moved out to the countryside to escape the shame of his actions, and is now working like a dog to keep up with the child support payments for his and my ex-wife's kids. My ex-wife messaged me, begging me to take her back countless times after the divorce, but I ignored her every time. There's nothing I can do for her now. I only hope that she thoroughly honors her responsibilities as a mother and does her absolute best to raise her son in spite of the circumstances. I dove headfirst into my work after everything that happened, so much so that my coworkers joked that I should set up a tent in the office. I hoped it might help me forget the trauma of being betrayed by a woman that I loved the most in the world. And you know what? It did. Between that and the kind understanding and unwavering support of my family, friends, and coworkers, I'm actually starting to feel a lot better. I don't have so many flashbacks or nightmares about what happened anymore either. I'm having a blast, devoting myself to my hobbies for the first time in years, something I never had the time to do when I was married. Finding out my wife was pregnant with someone else's kid was quite a shock. But now, I'm putting it all behind me and focusing on building a happy, fulfilling new life for myself. How can you enjoy the present if you spend all your time dwelling on the past? Onwards and upwards, I say, Life is full of ups and downs. I've had my fair share of downs, but I firmly believe